for 2 crores, right? Then the fair market value of the rental property has to go on your FBAR form as well. So that is very important. IRS wants to restrict money transfer. That's not true. Technically, what they're trying to do is make sure that people are compliant and reporting all this thing. So it is very serious to make sure that you report and you do it right way. Another thing is FBAR solution. What are the options in this area? Let's say you have forgotten to report that and you did not understand these complications. In that point of time, you have a couple of options. You can go ahead and, if you reported all the income for all the years related to foreign income on your original tax return, then you can go ahead and file FBAR forms and going through this program and you'll not be penalized anything. Now, if you've not done that and if you've not done those things, then technically you have an option to file something called FBAR amnesty or OVDP program, Offshore Voluntary Disclosure Program. And under this program, instead of charging a penalty of 50% per year, they would only limit the penalty to be 1 year penalty. And that penalty, instead of 50%, can be reduced down to 27.5% or 12.5%, depends on the criteria if you follow the criteria. Now, in this area, basically, we are top 52 firms in US whose clients never suffered an FBAR because we have been taking care of this issue right from day one. We do not go on an assumption model that is IRS enforcing it today or not. There's a lot of laws like that which people don't realize or CPAs don't advise their clients, and at the end of the day, they still end up making these mistakes and clients become responsible. You have the highest number of amnesty cases in the US. You got out-of-box strategies to reduce your FBAR penalties. You have taken challenging positions on every case and convinced IRS officer. One of the recent case we had, under OVDP program, this guy had around $800,000 in balance. According to that, it would be 27.5%, so his penalties are coming to around $200,000, even under OVDP program. Without OVDP program or a voluntary disclosure program, that person, if were audited, would have paid 8 times than the balance, or 4 times the balance, so it would be $3.2 million. Under OVDP program, his penalties were coming to $200,000. With the right resolution, we finally settled the case with IRS for $2,500. So we can reduce these penalties down. We guarantee it's a pretty unique thing. We say that if anybody can reduce your OVDP penalty dollar more than us, we would make sure that we have responsible and we write you a check back for the fees you paid to us. At the same time, if you're participating in these programs through any of the CPA and you want to do a second opinion, you've got a settlement letter from IRS and you want to see or you feel that penalty is too high, you can still bring it to us. We do free review of that and try to advise you that if there is still a possibility for us to do anything else to reduce this thing. I would like to welcome Mr. Mahesh to discuss a few things about tax planning, and I'm going to take one more topic on tax planning. This is the area where basically proactive actions and steps can help you save a lot of money in taxes. If you have taken a last year analysis, we have saved over $15 million in taxes to our community right here in Dallas area. So if you do proactive exercise, what you do between January and April is called tax filing. And as David mentioned earlier when he was doing a presentation on life insurance policy, after-tax dollars play a huge role. So if you don't save those after-tax dollars, then technically, if you really see number one expense on your thing is tax is your number one expense. So let's welcome Mr. Mahesh to talk a few words on this thing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. In fact, really, actually, when I read this name, I think I've never come across such a beautiful short name of any organization. One is T, everybody actually loves that, great stimulant and matches with the entrepreneurs dream. And then you have got Nata. Nata also means relationship in Hindi. So you have got very beautiful name and very enterprising people here. Enterprise is a real spirit of life. In fact, I was in India some time back and I was sitting in a CP office there. And there, the last day, so many people had come up there. So I was like, okay, why actually so many people have come up here? Then he told me, Mahesh, what we do in India, that we work in a principle of rocket science. What do you mean? You mean you are aiming very high? No, we start working only when our tail is on fire. But you are good people, entrepreneurs, and you have started thinking and you have invited people like us to think about taxes, because taxes is the beginning. In fact, entrepreneurs' biggest expense is tax. And there are two things. See, when you do entrepreneurship, what is the reward you get in entrepreneur? You can go for a job and you can earn fixed money. But in entrepreneurship, you make actually big money. What for the reward is there? Because you are undertaking risk. But when you take risk, you need protection. It is not a blind risk like others will be called fools. Then you are not entrepreneur. So you have to calculate the risk with proper advice. And that is what we provide you. That we protect, whatever you take, we protect. Because there, what are the risks covered? One risk is about taxes. The taxes will take away whatever profit you make. Then there is risk of lawsuit. In USA, they say that actually 1 out of every 10 person gets sued in lifetime. because attorneys are allowed to share in damages. Nowhere in the world they are allowed like that. And I have seen one case, you'll be surprised. I had a client 3 years back. He had got actually damages of 50,000. So I just asked him that I want to see the court case. And I was surprised, he was about $1 million in damages. Attorneys took away $950,000. And I will tell you a story till after, because it's a long story, but there was a real story. And he showed me the bills on the attorney took away that much money, he got only 50,000. So there is a great risk of lawsuit is there. Then there is risk of, say, whatever investment you make, that investment risk is there. So there are different types of planning to cover that. Tax planning protects you against the taxes, high taxes. Wealth protection planning protects you from your lawsuit risk. And then finance planning protects you from financial risk, that you may lose the money, so you diversify. The insurance or one of the products, there are various products for there. So what is the largest expense? You may think that these are the expenses, clothing, food, gas, all that is are big expenses. But all those expenses account hardly for 20% of your thing. And taxes actually, not only income tax, how many taxes are affecting you? There are 70 taxes affecting you. And almost, suppose there are no taxes, there is a theoretical calculation, then actually you will find that your 80% income is going in different taxes. Suppose say you actually on anything, everybody that you pay income taxes. Then you buy anything, you have to pay sales taxes. You buy the property, you pay again property taxes. You gift out, you pay gift taxes. Finally you decide to die, then there is estate tax. So taxes don't give you any time. So when I used to consider for taxes, then you think the tax is small, 8% tax, property tax you think is small. Do you think it is small? Suppose your property has no income, you have palatial house, and you don't have any money to pay this 8% tax. Government will drive it out in 12 years, it becomes 96%. And it will not be 12 years, if you calculate the interest and penalty, you will be driven out in 7 years from entire house of $2 million if you are not able to pay this 8% property tax. When you are paying the taxes, income tax, how much it is there? Income tax, now highest bracket is come to 43.40% income tax, that is federal tax. Plus add to that state taxes, up to 10% in state like California, 53%. Add to that social security, 15.30%. So 66%. And then there are other taxes. And you invest in property tax, 8%, you add 74% income goes in taxes. How you can build the wealth? So when you are starting any enterprise, the first thing you consider about the taxes, and you to plan the taxes. You might have read this actually that Google is paying only $3.2 billion income, pays 4% taxes. And that is actually they are declaring, it is already declaring Google itself, you can search about that. How they are able to do it and why they are not penalized, why they are not sent to jail. It is a lawful strategy, and advanced approach strategy. There are various strategies available. This is falls under complex tax planning, which Sam is going to discuss after this talk. So he will explain in more detail that how high income people can save taxes, more than million, 5 million, 50 million income, how you can save the taxes and reduce the tax to 5% or 4%. That we are going to explain and fully lawfully. So now I will discuss what are the strategies, how we do tax planning. Tax planning is not claiming that exaggerated deductions. See, many times people think that the traditional way. People talk of tax planning a lot. Let me tell you, one time there was actually one interview, and Mr. Andy went there, and for IAS interview in India, collector's interview. So they asked him question that, Mr. Andy, we make you Prime Minister of India for 5 minutes, what will you do? He told, in 5 minutes, what can I do? I'll prepare Maggie. They actually like, wow, what a witty answer, humorous answer. Then they told him that suppose we make you Prime Minister for 5 years, then tell me what will you do? Then he told that who will eat that much Maggie? So that is the thing actually, whatever people talk of tax planning, if you scratch little and ask them what do you mean by tax planning? They say claim exaggerated deduction, claim IRS never coming to know. That is not tax planning, it is jail planning. What we do in tax planning, there are 4 basic classes. There are 75 strategies, but how they fall in 4 classes only. Which are the 4 classes? Number 1 is moving income from high tax location to low tax location. You are in California. If I can move your income to Texas, it will be tax free, state tax, you can say. We actually did. There was one client, Dr. Client, 1 million income. We could move his 500,000 income with help of our attorneys, creating companies in 3 states, and 500,000 he saved 9%, 45,000 a year in just state tax. Then there are tax free and tax havens also. Carefully we can do that also. Now strategy, second strategy is moving income from periodically, high tax year to low tax year. This was a real case that we had one doctor, he had high income and he wanted to buy a house, and housing credit $8,000 was declared in 2009. So that he wanted to take advantage. So we moved income from say 1 year to another year and reduced income to 60,000. Even though he had 150,000 already reported, bank reported income. But we could do it officially and he got the credit. And then next subsequent year he reported income. Then there is a changing character of income. So there is another strategy that we change character of income. How do we do that and how it is locked? This is an example that we have one client in Dubai. He was US citizen and he was taking income of say 100,000 as a profit share working with his brother. What we suggested, why do you take 100,000 as a profit share? Because profit share income in Dubai it is exempt, but you are citizen, you have to report worldwide income. So USA you have to pay high taxes. He was paying almost 28,000 here in taxes. What we suggested that you take out same money as a wages, as a salary in USA, in Dubai. And same money your brother will pay, you can make understanding between the two. So that way you got 100,000 salary, foreign wages income can be excluded up to almost $100,000. So there was zero tax. Now this is how we do lawfully, without claiming any expenses, without making any violation of law, taking advantage of the law. And then there is a strategy, another strategy, we move income from high tax person to low tax person. Suppose you have got friends or relatives, no matter anywhere in the world, any corner of the world, and if they are lower income, we can reduce them to, and we can help them and take them in such a way that you can reduce your taxes and take advantage of their lower bracket. And it is not like in Google many times people read like that, okay, set up your child as an employee. In fact, we have a doctor client, he exactly did that, his child is set as an employee. He read on Google, that is a good strategy, and he will save some taxes so his salary pays. Because child's income, normally under KD tax rules, if it is more than 1900, tax is parent-free. But if it is a salary income, then it is taxed separately. So he tried to take that advantage, that's good. But then one day suddenly he had received audit notice and he was out of town and his son picked up the phone. And his name was there. I was started asking him that what is sales of this last quarter, what are you doing, and he could not reply any question out of the 9 questions. They charged doctor with a fraud. So that can happen. Our strategy is not like that. Not a single strategy will fall back. We are not hiding anything. We in fact invite attention of IRS that catch us if you can. You can audit if you want. And they cannot add anything there. We have actually done so far about 3,000 tax planning cases. We have only 3 cases audit and IRS we did not allow to add a single penny. So that is possible because we do everything lawful. There are 5 misconceptions why people miss tax planning. One thing, tax planning is something unlawful. Now that is a wrong thing. There has already been Supreme Court judgment, Justice Hand has in the case of Helmary, that it is fully lawful to plan your affairs so as to reduce the taxes. There is no patriotic duty to pay high taxes. Then tax planning is claiming excessive deduction. It is not. As I told you, nowadays IRS is stricter and they audit various areas. So that is very risky strategy. And there is actually one case, one Bharat Patel of North Dakota. Yeah, he was not able to prove $9,000 expenses. He owns 6 motors. But he could not properly prove $9,000. He has been sent to imprisonment for 2 years. You can read his case. Then tax planning costly tool. That is also wrong thing. Tax planning, we never do your tax planning unless we first examine. We have a review meeting and we see that if we are going to save 10,000 or more, then only we take up your case for tax planning. And then our fee comes out and only about $2,500 to $3,000 for initial level stage. So you are actually making profit of $6,000 to $7,000. We are not attorneys, we don't charge anything percentage basis, but we have a fixed fee based on different strategies. And strategic cost we tell you in advance. So thereafter you sign up the contract and then only we work out. So tax planning you are never going to lose, first meeting is always free. Then tax planning blocks money. That is also wrong thing. That is finance planning where you invest in 401k retirement plan. We don't ask you to block single penny. No money putting in any type of retirement plan and no deduction claim. Still I will be cut off your tax by 50%. Then I am using CPA to tax return. Now that is also wrong thing. See, all CPAs actually are not aware even of the total tax law. I myself CPA, but still I have to say because I study CPA, there is not expensive tax law also covered fully. All the areas are not covered in tax also. And tax planning is especially subject left to tax attorney because one has to constantly go on reading tax law cases, tax court cases, and IRS also many times declares something is lawful now, tomorrow they can declare it is unallowed, disallowed tax shelter. So one has to be constantly on guard that, and it requires something thinking out of the box. What is thinking out of the box? It is something actually, you have to read between the lines. Let me tell one story. There was an ashram of Guru, and there were two disciples from USA went there in Himalayas, and they liked the ashram, but they were chain smokers. And all the disciples told that here you cannot smoke unless Guru gives permission. So one of the person told, we have to take permission of Guru. The first person went out in the room of Guru, and he came out long place. He told that